My bad, I had to check something. But when you really pay attention to what be going on, I can guarantee you, once you find out the truth about what really be going on, when you do that with people, with another person, some people, they get lucky to experience more than one partner at one time. Now this is where it get interesting. It's kind of like if I bake a cake and I cut this cake 6 times. When I tell everybody, call everybody to the kitchen. Okay, let me. I'm gonna give y'all a good example. Bake a cake. I cut the cake 6 times. I call everybody. Well, not everybody, but I'm gonna try to make this as similar to that as possible. I call a few people that I want to give the cake to. Mind you, I made this cake. I put thought into this cake. I knew the people that I was gonna give this cake to. When I made the cake, I made sure that I gave my all at making this cake. I put my feelings, I put my emotion into it. I put into it what I knew was gonna be for each one of those people, you know, who I offered and gave a piece of cake to. So when I call these people in, these people, as soon as I alert them and tell them, okay, the cake ready for y'all, they mind instantly is alerted and they come because I've told them and they want to come and receive a piece of this cake. See, y'all have to pay attention how in depth this shit is, because it's more than just your emotions. It's something, it's like a calling. You see what I'm saying? So when all of them come get a piece of this here cake, it's gonna go either one or two ways. They either gonna take this cake and they gonna be thankful for the cake, or they gonna take the cake. Some of them might not like it. Some of them may take the cake and ask and want me to make something else. Some of them may even want more of the cake. And see, this is what I realize when what goes on when it comes down to sexual intercourse. Because I'm gonna be fucking honest with y'all, and a lot of people don't talk about it. But you know what I learned? The older that I'm getting, the shit that people don't talk about, like they say, this world is full of secrets. And it's true. But some people be scared to talk about shit because they may think they be looked at as weird. They don't want, and some people be selfish, like I'm gonna be real. I got, in this brain, I got a lot of thoughts that I keep to myself because I be feeling lucky that I came across it and was able to sit down and analyze the thoughts that I analyzed on my own. But it was with this one guy that I was sleeping with, and me and this guy, like, man, we was in and out, and every partner I had, it was odd because I started just studying shit. And I'm gonna be real, like, it may sound like kind of like on some sicko type shit, but I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. I got like that, and because I wanted to see if I was tripping or not, but I'm like, you know what? Let me just get, you know, like on some scientist type shit, because I was always a person that liked science. And see, if you pay attention, a scientist is curious, so they're gonna take shit and they're gonna run tests on shit to see if what they thinking is gonna be true, right? Whenever this come out, to see if this shit gonna fall like that, right? So meanwhile, I'm talking to the dude, and I wasn't that deep into like religion or none of that. So, you know, like, I'm like, you know what? Like, I hadn't even got into depth what I know now, what I'm about to present to y'all, what I started paying attention till it started hitting my head. Because what made me do what I did is because this guy started, of course, sleeping with another woman. Common sense. If you having sex with somebody and y'all not married, 10 out of 10, he has multiple partners just as much as you. Because y'all active. Y'all not ready for no real commitment. So little do y'all know, whenever you start having sex, it's like you make your body want to constantly keep indulging in sexual intercourse. It's like you start automatically getting all these different hormones. You start getting horny and all of that. Like, like in the Bible, you have no self-control at this point, because you've crossed the line. You've started having sexual intercourse before marriage, right? So check this out. Let me back it up a little bit and bring y'all back into telling y'all what I done, where I said it was kind of like sick-minded, because I started really getting to the real spiritual realm of this shit, right? So I just was taking men and using them as guinea pigs. Now check this out. When I say guinea pigs, like I said, me and this guy, we was sleeping around, and I came across the woman that he also was sleeping with at the same time as he was sleeping with me. We weren't in the same bed together. No, this ain't that instance. But me and her was having sex with the same man, right? So let me tell y'all how I knew. So how I ran into the woman, it was weird. It was like we just crossed paths. And when I crossed paths with the woman, I had never seen him with the woman yet. But I crossed paths with the woman more than 2 times. And I was like, why? You know, see, when you start paying attention to everything in your life and you thankful for your life, you kind of start to study everything around you. And at this level of thinking, my conscience was here, and God leveled me up all the way to here. So everything that was around Damra, I wanted answers to it. And I'm still like that, and I'm getting even deeper with this shit because it's very interesting. And when you search for that, do not be like, don't be stuck. You gotta keep moving because it's a lot of shit that's just gonna blow your mind. So back to this shit with this woman, right? So I'm like, okay, I keep like crossing like with this woman or whatever like that. But one of the days when I crossed with her, I noticed he wasn't that far off from where I was. And like they say, when you have an intuition, like when you dealing with a man, you know it's just something that just comes to you. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, sometimes and I'm not gonna even say sometimes, I'll take that back because that never happened to me. Anytime when I was sexually active with men, and anytime God gave me a thought that a man was sleeping with another woman, it was true. And I tell people, like, this ain't gonna, some people it don't come to them because nobody not sleeping with nobody else on them. But at the same time, it was just something that just kept coming to me. I'm like, wait a minute, like, I know I'm not the only person he's sleeping with, but I really couldn't get mad because he not my husband. So, you know, the truth don't bend. When you're not married to somebody, they can talk to whoever they want to talk to. Like, all that fake delusional shit people be doing around y'all, girlfriend and boyfriend, cheating is for married people. If that nigga sleep with somebody and he ain't your husband, he could talk to who he want to talk to, right? So, and I never approached a woman, but I called my homegirl. I'm like, man, like, I don't know what it is, but I think, you know, like, you know, oh boy, like, messing with a woman, I keep running across or whatever. So, y'all know how it is with the internet. And my homegirl, she like, okay, fuck that. You know, we about to get on this bitch and we about to, you know, skim through the friends, woo, you know, etc. So while I'm on the phone with her, my homegirl, she like, man, fuck that. Go down, you know, look at his friends. And if you see the hoe, then that's her. I take that back. I'm not gonna say hoe because I don't disrespect people, but you know that street shit just be in a nigga. But if you see the same woman, then that's that woman, right? So one day, like, I go through his friends, and guess what? The same woman I crossed paths with, like, it was her. She was on there. So I'm like, wait a minute, like, this the same woman that for some reason I'm like, why did this woman catch my attention? Like, literally, y'all, like, I be where I be at, and it be millions of people that cross me, and it be the same people, but it was this one woman that just had, like, when I glanced at her one time, all these thoughts just took over my mind, right? So as I'm looking through the pictures at the woman, I'm noticing me and the woman kind of resemble. Like, I'm not of course she don't physically like face appearance look like me, but our spiritual being is the same. So mind you, like, I'm like, okay, I'm like, he's sleeping with this woman, because at this point, like, I'm like, all right, I'm not tripping. I'm like, maybe I'm bugging, but I know I'm not bugging, but maybe I'm bugging, right? So you know, I wasn't tripping. I let it go. But something told me, like, I say like a month had passed. some told me, you know, go look at the woman. Again, just go check her page out or whatever. And me and him had stopped talking. So when I went and glanced back at the woman page, me and the woman share the same tattoos. We got a lot of shit. It just was a lot. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When I first looked at the woman didn't have all of this. It came to like points where I would notice, and I kept looking. Yeah, I kept looking because I'm noticing, I'm thinking I'm tripping. But I had, like I said, when I brought up the guinea pig with the man, I'm about to get there to make sure I wasn't. Like on some scientist type shit, right? So every blue moon I go dip back in, I'm noticing this woman started having the same hairstyles as me. Sometimes gradually we would wear the same colors. We would have the same I'm like, okay, something is fucking creeping me out. Something is not. And me and a man had been stopped having sex with each other. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go in a bar and I'm going to get drunk. And I'm going to do a one-night stand with this guy. Come to find out, I do a one-night stand with this guy. And, you know, I wasn't tripping. But normally people say, he just have the same taste in women. No, that's not true. It's deeper than that. Because when this woman, before he started messing with this woman, from my view of it, the woman had, me and her had nothing similar. So back to the story with the other man. I dipped out and done something else, like basically mess with another nigga, right? Mind you, it was on the opposite, the shoe fit the opposite foot this time. The other nigga that I started messing with when I was dealing with him started doing shit and moving and doing the same shit like what happened with me and the other woman, but it was resembling him. So when I started getting in the Bible and they started reading about, you know, like when you sleep with people, like, you know, like you really like fucking exchanging like spiritual being, like you doing something. And I started getting angry because I said, you know what? Whatever I've done, I fucked up. I done something. This was bigger than what I thought it was gonna be, right? Because now I'm dealing with going through all these different people and seeing, I can look at them and tell that either they touched somebody I had or they touching the same nigga that I'm fucking on. And when I started getting that in depth into like sex, I stopped having sex. You know why? Because I realized I was giving myself away. And, you know, older people, they speak wisdom. And a lot of times they may tell us things and they don't even think about things the way we think about things. But I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all know when y'all always hear older people say, stop giving yourself away. They really telling you that. It ain't just about having sex. You're really giving yourself away to another person. And then it become emotional because, I'll tell you something. Out of every man that I ever had, like if I was to pull up every nigga that I had, you can tell I was having sex with that man, or having sex with this man, or having this or having that. But it's like this. When I pull myself away from giving myself up, I know, like, if it's meant for me to get married, the next person who do lay up with Dahmer will be my husband. Like, it ain't no ands and buts about it, because I'm too good for them to have a piece of this, what I've built up. The spirit that I'm feeding every day, the energy that I have, my vibe, everything. It's weird to say, but you learn to be stingy with yourself. You learn to put yourself here instead of here, and learn to say, you know what? I'm the golden egg. They need to go get the other ones, because they can't have this. Like, when you start feeling that way about yourself, like this shit real, like this your soul, like it's more than just feeling. See, this is what I had to realize. Flesh will make you forget about the soul part of life, the spiritual part. Flesh will control your life and dim your soul. But when you start seeking the soulful way of living instead of what the fleshful desires, then life get realer. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Since I've been living more in spirit and really like caring for my spiritual inner being, my emotions. You know how when you go around people and they say, oh, don't go off your feelings and all that? That's people who move by flesh. Because if you go off of your feelings and you analyze your feelings and you sit down and you do what you have to do, then life get realer and life has a meaning. When you're moving off flesh, life has no purpose. Life is just a come and go. Life is just a wanting of validation. And life is more than that. So now I've came to a point where I realize these men cannot have that piece of Dahmer. The Dahmer that they got a piece of back then is nowhere near the Dahmer now. And it's weird because it's like now when I come out here in the world, these people be out here looking at you like you a piece of meat. It ain't about, see, they mentally, they're not how I'm talking. Their mind is not how I'm talking yet. So they're going off of flesh. But the bigger, I can see the bigger picture. It be the devil and the demon in them that's trying to eat off your shit, that want to take you out your clothes and trying to get you to have sex with them. They don't really care for themselves. So how can they care and care for you when you give them that part give that part of you to them? And the more I studied that, like I be like, you know, some people you too overpowerful for. They not that ignorant and have that level of intelligence to sit down and realize a conversation, feeding somebody, bringing somebody mind, elevating them up to here from the crumbs is a lot. And a lot of people, they don't know how to grab that because they still want to play. They still want to do things and disregard themselves. And how I live, I really take care of myself. And my feelings come first. Yes, I have desires, but I'm working on my mental. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When I did do what I did, you know, like I said, taking people and just running the experiment, seeing if I fuck him, not all of them looking alike. But I'm noticing it ain't just about a type, because when I met you, I could tell after me and you started having sex, you ain't you don't even dress and look like the same nigga you was before I even took my clothes off with you. And this where the shit get deep. That's like I started talking with a lot of married women. That's why they say, yeah, that's my husband. He is me. We are one. We have several kids together. They were so spiritually joined. God let them have a baby together. So he has a lot spiritually in common with that woman. Not just that, like she say, oh yeah, you looking at my nigga, but you ain't just looking at him, you looking at me too. When you lay up and you fuck on somebody, your aura all wrapped around that nigga. Like I be telling people, before you ran on this nigga, you ran on a nigga because little do you know, like you hear some people say, shit, I put you on. That shit run deep. I could look at a nigga when I was fucking with a nigga and see my aura all wrapped around the nigga. But when I left the nigga and he started fucking with this other woman, I can see the other woman's spiritual being all wrapped around him too. I'm no longer in that picture, but he even looked different, dressed different. That shit real. See me, I feel like I would, like they say, you supposed to talk life into people. I talk life into people, but I wake people up. And when I talk to people, I talk to them because I be trying to show them, you know, life is more serious than just money and doing stuff to get answer. What's the word I'm looking for? Opinion from others or get attention. And human is very wise. And like the more that I study stuff, you serve a deeper purpose in everything around you. Like whatever you attracted to, I'm not just talking about human or people. I'm talking about objects. Look it up. Read about the history on these things. Read about where it come from, because it's going to, I can bet money, it's going to put you somewhere where you can, you know, it's gonna put you somewhere where you ain't even think it had shit to do with, and you already was on that in that route. And it's gonna teach you about yourself, and your inner, your spiritual being will grow. You gonna start getting to a point like I be saying, like, well, not like I be saying, but like I be thinking to myself, like, and I notice, like, some people try to call people too goody two shoes, but now I understand when people say these people don't deserve to be socializing with me. These people don't understand me. I would rather go by these crowd of people than these crowd of people. You know why? Because they don't deserve their presence. They don't deserve their presence. The way they comprehend is not as accelerated and educated as somebody who want to take care of themselves. See me, I come from getting high, I come from getting drunk, but I let that shit go. So when I come around people, and I'm learning that now because I still have friends and associates that still do all that shit, and no, I don't down talk them, but at the same time, I'm better than them. I'm better than them. And you know, you got some people that sit back and say, that don't make you better than me. I never stop getting high. Y'all never stop drinking. But technically, you don't care about your health. Because drinking and getting high is a deficiency. That don't serve as no vitamin or no protein. That shit don't make y'all smarter. Y'all out here going downhill. Y'all crashing out. So Dahmer is becoming more of an adult where I'm about to back off from those type of people, and I want to be around people who want to be sober like I am, because in the back of my mind I still feel like I've moved on from you spiritually, because what you into, I'm not into it like that. I care about myself now. And it's like a lot of people, when you pay attention, they don't care about themselves as much. I've let foods go, all kind of shit go. I don't even show my body like I used to show my body. And I tell men off top, the woman that y'all met years ago, the Dahmer y'all met years ago, has changed, because that Dahmer, the one that was revealing that, I wanted y'all money. I didn't want nothing. I wasn't decent like how I am now. My look was what it was. I don't have time for just to lay up with a nigga just because. No, that's mental. That's a mental problem. It's deeper than what y'all think. And then when y'all get caught up in situations, you sit back and you beat yourself down because you got all these different emotions coming. Like they say, learn the people that you socialize with and that you lay up with. And honestly, I learned the people after I laid up with them. And that's how I was able to adjust my spiritual and my mental, because I had to deal with all that new energy that I put within myself from those men. You know, I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all. And a lot of them ways and emotions that I took and carried on from them, now I know how to keep it on lock. Now I know that shit real. If you out here and you fucking with a nigga who robbing, 10 out of 10, you will eventually start robbing. You will. I'm just being real with you, because that's their energy. But when you dealing with niggas like that, you know, I don't know how to, it just sounds weird, but I'm a witness to it, and it hasn't changed, and I haven't seen any difference. It's serious when it come down to people. But enough of that, because I could go on and on about that, and I kind of just be mind blown away by it still when I talk about it. And I'm gonna get back to talking about my book that I got, my other book. So the book I got is called Grace for Today. Now this book, y'all, is like, it's a real good book. Like, the book is basically like, it's made like for the months. It's something like a month, like every month is in here, and it break day for day down, like, but I'm just running through it. And it basically tell you about God. It's straight up, it's biblical, but it talks to you. It's not the stories like in the Bible, but it talks to you and put in and reassure you of the Holy Spirit that you have within. Meaning, whatever you normally tell yourself when you steering in the right road, it's like it gives you that reassurance that you're not tripping and you on the right track, because they're gonna say a lot of the same stuff that you think in your head, but they're going to make it stand out more in a better way than how you can like explain yourself. And like I said, it's really good. I'm already on, and they don't have any page numbers in here, but I'm not halfway through, but I've been doing real good, and it's real interesting. But another thing that I want to talk to y'all about, when you a nice person and you just, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all, you can never be too nice. You know how some people say you too nice. Let me tell y'all something. The people who go head over heel, above and beyond, them people so blessed. They got a peace you can't even walk past. They aura and they vibe and energy is so big and so loud and so bright and beautiful. It's too powerful to even walk on side them. You may not never see them. You may only see them when it's time for you to receive a blessing. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the older I'm getting, I will never feel like I could be too nice. But it all depends on your personality. And I have a lot of loving, kind, compassionate ways with me, but I also got a lot of the evil ways too. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm friendly, but I'm not that friendly. Because a lot of things that I think about, I be kind of salty about, but I try to mean well. But I'm at a spiritual growth in my life where a lot of places where I would go, where I normally spend and hang out since I stopped drinking, because I normally go to a bar, give me a beer, then come back out to the truck, you know, I read, or you know, I'm just in there socializing. But I noticed like God keep moving me, you know. It's like now I like to be in my own zone, and when I go out I meet people, but I'm not socializing with people on the same level as I used to, because the stuff that I want to talk about, it ain't even 3 people, it ain't even 3 out of 10 hands that I can find that are on the same level as me. The only way they understand me is when I really start explaining myself. You know, sometimes people could get it off the bat, and if you pay attention, most people, you gotta explain to them what you talking about, because they mind gonna automatically go this way about a situation. And when you say it to them, you thinking they supposed to go straight hit it on the money, but they don't. And I've accepted that when you eventually become blessed like I am, to sit amongst people for a very little while and see that your conscience and level of conversation is too high for that median, that level of conversation that they have going, you know how to stay on that level with them. But when you're ready to excel, you know how to part ways with them also, because you want more. And I'm learning how to do that, because a lot of people, a lot of stuff that they be wanting to talk about, that they find interest in, I've surpassed that. And I'm all into reality now. Like, if it's hot, it's hot. If it's cold, it's cold. I'm not, the truth don't bend, and it doesn't break, and it doesn't change. And I've come to a point in my life where I'm trying to go straight for the truth and don't look back. I noticed a lot of people, they start trying to make their own ways of doing things, and they try to bend the truth, and they become delusional. And when you state the truth to them, then it's kind of like it's on a level where they you know, they get rebellious, they don't want to hear it, or they try to they basically try to make it seem like you don't know what you're talking about, and they understand what you're talking about. And it's not that they don't want to hear what you're talking about, but it's almost as if you rub it in their faces for the second time, because you've approached them and spiritually for the second time, but this time it's come from another individual than themselves when they first told it to themselves. So when they hear it from you, then it's like they don't want to hear it, because they've been running from it. And I got to the point where if I can't feel like we on the same level when I'm talking, and I gotta keep constantly explaining myself, going in depth to myself to someone where I could tell they act like they want to know, but when I start really explaining what I'm talking about, they run off, then I'm not gonna conversate with people like that no more, because it's too frustrating, because I see they really not on the same level like what I be talking about. But like I said, you have things in life that that serve, you know, meaning, like they serve a purpose for that time. They catch your attention. But let me tell you something, what I learned about life. Everything that happened in front of you, it lasts forever. When you dip back on something that reminds you of that moment, that stick with you for the rest of your life. And every day I wake up now, I'm realizing what's ever in front of me means something, because I'm opening myself up and allowing it to be a part of my presence, a part of my atmosphere, a part of my life. And it ain't just about me allowing it. God is putting it in front of me too. So take y'all time and really go in depth about what be around y'all, because it means something. But I'm about to get back to reading. Whenever I feel like something is really interesting, like I normally do, I'll get on here and make another YouTube. But y'all have a good Sunday night, and I'll see y'all soon.